G'day, Ron here from Osborne Digital Marketing. Today we're going to discuss location pages for SEO. Let's jump into it. All right, so as you can see, I've got the maps open. Now, what is a location page? A location page is essentially a page created specifically with the intent and the purpose of you being able to rank in another location apart from where your business is located. So as an example, with me being based in Fort Lauderdale, I would also still like to achieve the clients living in Hollywood, based in Hollywood. I still want to work with those individuals, not just the lovely people based in Fort Lauderdale. I want to work with these guys as well. So I can create a web page and say, I offer services in Hollywood. I service the individuals in Hollywood, which I do all the time. I service people all around the globe. But what happens is now I'm ranking there. Now I'm able to attract those customers. That's what a location page is for SEO. And that's why location pages are incredibly powerful things that you should set up for your business. Now, today I'm going to show you a couple of examples. I'm going to show you how you can set them up, and I'm going to show you some powerful tricks, the do's and don'ts of it. So let's just jump straight into it, okay? So let me give you a couple of examples. A big do for location-based pages, it always depends on how competitive your niche is. So let me just give you an example. Let's just say you're an electrician, you're a plumber, you're anyone that offers services to perhaps individuals like being Fort Lauderdale. Now, they're quite competitive, those industries. There's plumbers, electricians, garage door repairmen located all along the eastern side here. So trying to create a service page for Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood, Miami, Pompano Beach, Boca Raton, and if you want to go even further up to West Palm, it might not be worth it because in that area, there's already a ton of plumbers. Now, let's just say you are competing with them. What's the point of ending up on page 3 or page 4, even page 2? It's utterly pointless. It's a waste of your investment. You don't want to spend money on something that ends up on page 2. I understand I have some clients that really want to achieve rank in those areas, but unfortunately I know that the only way they can do that is by spending a lot of money on an investment that probably won't get them the return that they're hoping for. So if you're in a competitive niche, if you are in something quite difficult, what you can do is this. You don't need to abandon location pages, no, but tie it down a little bit. And another way that you can find out the perfect areas for that is it's easy to tell if your niche is competitive. Go into Google, see how relevant it is, see if there's a lot of competitors around. If there's a lot of results, you're in a competitive niche. So I would approach it like this, like I'm going to show you for location pages. So let's just say you are located in Hollywood. You're a plumber in Hollywood and you only want to target this area. Let's just say you are a plumber, it's super competitive. Create a location page for Hollywood Hills. Create one for Hollywood Beach. Create one for South Central Beach. Create one for Pembroke, West Park. Now, what's going to happen is this local area here, all of the individuals in here, you are going to appear, it's more likely that you will rank number 1 for any of these areas compared to your competitors. So the likelihood you'll push them out is higher. Now, as you start to expand, once you've dominated this small area, you can start to push it back further. So you can push back to Pembroke Pines. You could even start hitting sort of South Fort Lauderdale. You could start to target just probably just south of the airport. In all honesty, south of the airport is something that I would be considering not going too aggressive. And once you start to see your map grid that you should be running, if you don't know what a map grid is, check out another video I have on local SEO, but you should start to see that go green. And as it continuously stays green, then you can move up and you do it very slowly. Don't go too aggressive. So you don't want to go from Hollywood all the way up to Boca Raton first hit. Don't do that because you do confuse the Google. So you want to make sure that you're keeping everything quite coherent and it's easy for Google to understand as possible. So that's something to consider. Harder niche, keep it tied in. As you start to dominate locally and really in that little area that you've created, that geolocation that you have created, start to expand it out. slowly but surely. Don't go, okay, I'm winning this area now, I'm going all the way up, I'm hitting Jacksonville. Don't do that. Take it slow. It's very important that you take it slowly. Now, let's just say you've created some brand new service, something that no one's ever heard of that, I don't know, fixes pools. Like you're a pool cleaner that has this magic dye that just cleans it, as an example. So what you could do is you could be a little bit more ambitious then. So you could target your Boca Ratons. You could go up to West Palm, all the way down to the Keys. You could go massive, take all of Florida if you wanted. That's if you're in a not so competitive industry, niche, whatever you want to call it. That is when you'd be able to create and be more ambitious with your location pages. So let's have a look at, this is my business coaching and consulting website. So let's just scroll down and I'll show you something very interesting and maybe a little bit contradictory to what I just explained to you. But I have location pages for cities and in different, as you'll notice, in different countries. So yeah, being the Aussie that I am, I obviously work with a lot of people back in Australia, but you know, with everything being located in the US for me, that's obviously where I'm targeting. And honestly, most of my clients, 85% of my clients are from the US. So I do have a couple of clients in Dubai, but as you can see, this is how it works for me. Now, the reason I do this is because it's very powerful for me. And thankfully I do obviously have Osborne Digital Marketing, so we target this quite heavily. Now, when it comes to ranking your service pages, that's vitally important. So let me show you an example. So if I should be ranking somewhere for a small business coach, Fort Lauderdale, let's see, Fort Lauderdale. Awesome, misspelled it, beautiful, good work on it. Yep, number one, even with that misspelling, good work. So I'm number one there, so that's very important to me. But check this out. So let's get rid of that. And now let's put in Adelaide. Oops. Wow, I've got my my spelling hat on today, guys. I've got the microphone right in front of the keyboard, so it's always a nightmare. I know I'm making excuses now, but yeah, it's always a nightmare to see. All right, so where am I? Awesome, number one for small business coach in Adelaide. So as an example, I'm ranking number one in cities in different parts of the world. I don't recommend this. If you're a newbie, if you're trying to target like different locations, you're going to need to speak with an SEO agency if you want to achieve these kind of stellar results. It doesn't happen overnight. As you can see, these guys have been around a lot longer, a lot more links, and I'm pushing them out. That's just because that's what we do at Osborne Digital Marketing. So that's how that works. And as you can see now, I'm ranking in these locations, which means I get the customers, the calls, all of this from these locations, which is awesome. So that's why they're very, very powerful and important. Now, when you're creating your location pages, this is what you want to consider. You want to keep them hyper-focused on the areas that they're in. So as an example, we're on the Small Business Coach Adelaide, exceptional business coaching. So I talk about Adelaide a lot. In fact, let's try and find out how many times I've mentioned Adelaide. So there's 16 times in there. Now, just a side note, maybe a bit of a plug, whatever you want to call it, watch the video on Page Optimizer Pro. That is going to give you the perfect content. So honestly, that's my secret sauce to how I'm ranking number one in cities across the globe for my target keyword, is because I utilize POP, very, very powerful tool, and it helps me achieve what I want to achieve. Okay, so that's something to consider, is when you're building out the page, you need to make sure that it's super, super optimized. It's very well done, very targeted. You don't need to just do where it looks like it's just Adelaide pushed in here a lot of times. No, you need to target the specific SERP. So every single SERP result page is different. The one that's being displayed in Fort Lauderdale is drastically different to the one being displayed in Dubai. Drastically different results. It's even different languages. So it's very important that you remember that and you consider that when you are creating your pages. So if we go back, even let's have a look at the Houston one. Let's check this out. So again, it is focused differently. It is structured differently, but a lot of the trust factors are still here. We've got the call to actions everywhere. There's always call to action so individuals can get immediately onto us. That's something that you want to make sure that you have throughout your location pages. Now, when you build your location pages, a great way of you ranking locally is trying to get specific links for those areas. So as an example, the way we rank number one is because I've got a backlink from the Australian, what is it? Adelaide University, South Australian University in Adelaide, whatever it is. It's actually escaped my mind now. Wow. I was based in Adelaide for years with the Army and it's absolutely escaped me now. Adelaide, I think it's Adelaide University or South Australia University. I have a backlink from them. So it's a hyper-focused backlink, and that's one of my best backlinks. And I have a number of other backlinks from other locations in Adelaide and other services in Adelaide, which link to that location. So that tells Google, hey, this guy is offering services here in Adelaide. Let's make sure that we're showing him. That's something really important to consider when you're building location pages. All right. Now, when it comes to building location pages for, let's say you're not a plumber, you're not someone that goes out and offers services, because as an example, as a business coach, I can work with anyone, anywhere, in any of those cities. I'm working with right now. I've got a camera. I can chat with anyone around the globe. So if you're perhaps a medical clinic, let's say that you're a dentist, you can't really sit there and be like, yep, dental clinic in Hollywood, this is where I am. No. You need to get a little bit more creative with it. So you would like to specifically target those individuals. Again, let's say you are in Fort Lauderdale and you're trying to grab these people to come to your dental clinic, medical clinic, law firm. You can create service pages still trying to target those individuals. What I would focus on doing, especially if you are in those more competitive niches, medical clinic, dentist, law firm, now all of the local suburbs, create pages for these guys. First thing, that is where you want to focus. Then you can start to creep your way down to Hollywood. Basically do it a suburb at a time, slowly but surely. Now, when you are creating the pages, you can't obviously say that you service individuals there. But what you can say is that you offer those services to people from there. So it's all about how you structure your content so you can still benefit from this. And when you are having your location pages created on your homepage, what you want to do is you want to have basically a bit of a structure like this. So you want to have it laid out in a similar way. Obviously, if it was Fort Lauderdale, that'd be just our business. You could state our business here. So if you are the dentist, you'd be like Dentist Fort Lauderdale. But then every other little suburb around, that's where you could have it. So you would just continuously expand this list out. Now, the reason you want to have this on your homepage is your homepage passes a lot of authority, and Google has gotten a lot smarter over the years. It knows that a location page is honestly just a bit of a ranking boost. So you want to establish with Google a bit of trust that says, hey, this page is linking from my homepage directly to this page. That tells Google, it explains to them essentially that this is an important page. You're considering it very important because you wouldn't be linking off this page off your homepage because this is prime real estate. You could put anything else here. You could put your reviews, you could put other content. So Google knows that this is an important piece of information. Okay, so that's why you want to have it set up in a similar way to this. Now, when it comes to building citations, you can build citations to specific pages. To be completely honest, being an SEO agency that we have, digital marketing agency, lately we've been finding that the citations being linked to the pages aren't working as well as they used to, but the backlinks are still relevant. Backlinks are still working quite well. So if I was you, I'd probably focus my effort on actually building more so backlinks. Throw in some citations. So if you're going to build citations, as an example, you're a dentist let's just say you're a dentist here in Fort Lauderdale, but then you're a plumber, sorry. You're trying to build something down here in Hollywood, okay? If you are trying to build a service page in Hollywood, what you can do is you can utilize your business. So let's just say it's Joe's Plumbing. That's your business name. You can be like Joe's Plumbing Hollywood. So, and then you can create all new citations in Yelp, in Apple Maps, in all of the main directories, Manta, all of those. Don't go out there and build smaller citations. Personally, like I said, I've been finding that it's just not as effective as what it once was. You need to do a heap of other tricks, and I'm obviously not going to give them away after years and years of learning. They're mine to keep. If you want them, you need to come work with me. But that's something that I would consider, working with the backlinks. All right, so you should have enjoyed that. I hope I've answered the question of location pages for SEO. If you have any other questions, make sure you hit me up. I'm an open book, more than happy to work with you and let you know what I know. Have a lovely day, guys. Look forward to hearing from you.